Good afternoon, you beautiful souls. Welcome to the Raven and Dove Tarot with Donna. Today I'm going to do just a collective energy reading, and it's timeless. So whenever you see this message, there could possibly be a message in here for you. Now I have pulled all the cards and I have just done the clarifiers. I was recording and it went off, so I'm going to redo it again. All the cards are laid out, so that saves you some time from speeding it up, because obviously I'm not shuffling because I'm already here. So when I was connecting to the collective energy, I did feel it was the lower chakras, the root chakra and the sacral chakra. So I feel like it's about stability. This does look present in a relationship dynamic, but take it as it resonates for you. And also, don't make tarot fit, it's just a guidance. So if there isn't a message here for you, trust that it's maybe a message you need for someone else, but don't try to make tarot fit. It's just a guidance, a tool that we use for where we're at in life. So when I started off, I shuffled the deck from the Grimoire of the Shadows, and the opening energy feel of this message was cycles of seasons, which is very much like the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot. Change is in the heartbeat of life. Embrace each turning as sacred, for every ending makes space for new beginnings. So trust that whatever's meant for you won't fall away, and if it moves away from you, then you can't control it, so let it go. And again, if it's meant to come back for you, it'll find its way back to you. But whatever is meant to stay will stay with you. And I feel like this card is all about trusting the seasons in life, and like the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot, life is one big lesson. We're on one big cycle, and when things end, it's teaching us what do we need to learn. What is that lesson showing us about ourselves? So in the recent past, I am going to do the clarifiers. They're already here with the card. So in the recent past, the first card was the Star. So I feel like you are healing from heartbreak. Obviously we'll get more into that in a minute. Recent past, this is definitely a heartbreak reading. Now, whether that is relationships, your normal life, grief, sadness or loss, whatever causes your heart to feel heavy and broken, trust that there is always hope, and that lesson is teaching you something about yourself, what you need to learn about yourself. So in the past, recent past, is the Star. Now that brings in that you have the opportunity, or had the opportunity, to look at what these cycles were showing you. Whatever ends brings new beginnings, and you can heal from stuff falling away from you, because whatever is not meant for you will fall away from you. So the Star is all about hope, healing, faith, and inspiration and fulfillment. It's time to move forward and heal from whatever was falling away from you in the recent past. And the High Priestess come out in reverse. So I feel in a situation you doubted your own intuition. Your own intuition was screaming at you, but you doubted it. And sometimes when we disconnect from self, we don't want to see what we're really being shown. So we'll ignore them red flags, or we'll ignore them intuitive downloads that come in, and just want to see the best of a situation, even when it isn't for our best and highest good. Now, in the present moment, we have the Three of Air, which is the Three of Swords in the Rider Tarot deck. And that is like the Three Swords are in the heart. So your heart feels broken, and it can be heavy, it can feel heavy, because the swords are all about our intellect, our thoughts, and knowledge. So I feel like in the present, you are trying to heal that heartbreak, but maybe you're stuck. You don't know how to move forward. You don't know how to move forward from this heartbreak and what these endings were showing you, but everything that falls away, there is a lesson to be taught in that. So what was that lesson showing you about yourself? So in order to free some space up in your heart, I would practice some forgiveness. And people don't like to forgive, or people think forgiveness is forgiving somebody for what they've done. Forgiveness is about forgiving yourself for the knowledge that you had at that time and you were doing the best that you could. But it is also forgiveness to that person with where they could meet you at, with their level of consciousness where they was at that time. But forgiveness is that you can you can forgive, but you don't have to forget. But forgiveness lives in the heart, and that keeps you blocked and stuck from moving forward and to open up to new possibilities and things. It keeps you stuck and held back in the energy. So I do think you should do a forgiveness meditation and work on that for a little bit. How can you forgive yourself? Don't be too self-critical that you didn't trust your own judgment, because maybe you are a person that believes that people will change, situations will change, because you see the good in everything. Not everybody else can be that person. So forgive yourself for seeing the best in a situation and having the best interests of everybody else, even though people maybe didn't have your best interests at heart. And just send forgiveness out. Ask your angels. We all have angels and spirit guides that work on free will. So if you call them in, ask them, please, can you help me lift this heavy weight from my heart? Now, in the present, you are being prompted to focus on healing the heart, forgiveness, sorrow, feel them emotions, because they're there to be felt. You can't suppress it, because it'll show up again somewhere else. And if you don't heal from whatever broke your heart in the first place, again, life cycles, you are going to keep repeating that until you have learned that lesson. So now is the best time to work on learning that lesson and what it's teaching you about yourself, because everybody and everything's a mirror, So with that, we got the Page of Wands. So what the pages are all about, like messengers, studies. What inspiring actions and lessons can you take from this lesson that it's taught you and you've had that heartbreak? And how can you turn that into fire energy with the Page of Wands? How can you spark and ignite your own passion inside yourself and be creative, or pour that energy into self? Because like I say, every situation teaches us a lesson about what we need to learn about ourselves. So in the present, it is like healing the heart from heartbreak, from life's lessons. And then that can also be tapping into that inner child, or what did you maybe suppress, or what did you put on the back burner for other people or other situations that you can now feel into them emotions and feel that sadness and grief, but open up to forgiveness, work on forgiveness. But how can you throw yourselves into a new creative project? Find that spark within yourself that you may be lost along the way. Come home to self. Start looking at yourself. What do you like about yourself? And what are the things that you enjoy? What bring you joy? Because that is another way to heal the heart. Start focusing and pouring that energy back into self before you even go looking for someone else to try and fill that void in your heart. Start filling it yourself. We all have that. And when we do that internal work and that shadow work and work on self and come home to self and pour that energy into us, then we finally get to meet somebody else that matches our energy. We don't want to be meeting up people that are going to be putting us through heartbreak and that again when we've already learnt them lessons. And you wouldn't anyway. If you learnt the lessons from it, you're not going to be going back to them sort of situations. Then in the near future, we had the Ace of Swords. So if you sit quietly and sit and work with that and discover a little bit more of yourself, it's about time to pause, have some self-reflection time, open up to forgiveness, and just take a pause. Take time out to focus on yourself, because then when you slow down a little bit and don't try to rush the process, you're going to get the clarity coming in. You are going to get the inspiration, or you will get communication from somebody else coming in to give you some knowledge or information or clarity to a situation to move forward for the better. Because then we had the Four of Wands that came out on the near future, which was in reversal. Now, the Four of Wands, when it is in the upright, is all about marriage, happy life, happy home. Now, whatever was maybe building was not built on a solid foundation. There was maybe no trust. And that might be the confirmation and the clarity that you get when you sit and heal your heart, give forgiveness, and then pour the energy back into yourself with the Page of Wands. What is it that you like? What is it that you want to create going forward? What does a healthy relationship or situation look like to you? You'll get the clarity when you pour that energy back into self and start asking yourself these questions instead of rushing out to find the next person to try and fill that void in your heart. It's not about that. It's about coming home to self and doing that internal healing work so that you don't settle for less than you deserve. And then you will see that that person maybe won't for you. They had to fall away in order to bring you something that you deserve better. But you will only get to have that when you learn the lesson of what that relationship or situation was teaching you about yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to go back into the next person and you're going to repeat the same cycle. This also could be that you need to focus on getting out of that energy of like wishing that's going to come or settling for less than you deserve. When you pour into self, it will all fall into place. You will align with the right people, but stop trying to rush the process to settle for less than you deserve. Now, the shadow work oracle card that came through with this was obsession. Release the chains of your thoughts and free your mind. And again, you could be obsessing over this situation too much that you are focusing on just the hurt. Ask yourself, what did this situation, whatever this is that caused the heartbreak that you're healing from, what did that need to teach me about myself? Maybe that is boundaries. Maybe that is self-respect. Maybe that is self-love. Maybe that is over-giving to everybody else but sacrificing self. You know, you'll know what this is for you. And when you work through all that and come home to self, you will be ready to find the relationship that aligns with who you've become. Now again, obsession, the shadow aspect of this could be that you're sat obsessing about this, every minor detail about not what is it teaching me, why did this happen to me? He did this, she did that, you know, without sounding awful, victim mentality, staying in the sorrow, the darkness side of it. Because look, if you can see, sorry, it's reflecting, that is the darkness of it, and it says obsession. So in order, and that is like the devil energy in the tarot, it's like we feel like we are stuck and chained and bound, but we're not. We can remove them chains ourselves, but it takes time to get out of the thought process of negative thought patterns. So release the chains of thought and free your mind. And on the bottom it says, I'm just trying to read it. Sorry, I can't see what that says. I can't see what it says. Let me see if I can turn my lamp up. Sorry, I'm just trying to read that. The words at the bottom, but the light's casting on it. It says, compulsion. And I can't read it. See if you can read the bottom ones, look. Because I can't read it. It has got 3 words at the bottom, but I can't see it in this light. Compulsion. Fixation. And preoccupation or something like that. I think it says preoccupation or something. But yeah, get out of your thought process of, and that can be attachments. It can be attachments to that. And that can be codependency issues as well. Trauma bonding, codependency issues, attachment issues. So instead of it is okay to feel the emotions and feel the grief and sadness. We are only, I believe we're a soul having a human experience, so we're going to have them human emotions anyway. But ask yourself, what did that situation show you about yourself where you lacked boundaries, or you lacked saying no, or you lacked self. And when I say self-respect, I don't mean that nasty. I mean that you could be self-betraying yourself all the time, and self-respect means you are prioritising others before self. Start with self. It all starts with self. Now, the angel number that we are going to close off with is 123, vision. Angel whispers, your path will not look identical to anyone else's. That is what makes you unique. Remember that as you stay the path that feels connected, the path will continue to lead you to alignment. Let your vision be as different as you are. Affirmation, my path is mine and mine alone. When I follow my path, alignment comes naturally. And again, things that are not meant to go where you're going, if you've already been doing some healing and then this is resurfaced, maybe something else has triggered you and you thought you'd healed it and it's a resurface, look at that. You'll get clarity on what shadow aspects of that need healing a little bit deeper. But I'm going to read the angel number again. 123, vision. Angel whispers, your path will not look identical to anyone else's. That is what makes you unique. Remember that as you stay the path that feels connected to your heart, you know, what lights you up inside, where is your creativeness going? Maybe what you've put stuff on the back burner. It's time to take that inspiration and look at self. The path will continue to lead you to alignment. Let your vision be as different as you are. Vision, what does your future self look like? What is the relationship that you want for you? What does that look like? What's a healthy relationship look like? We're not settling for breadcrumbs. We're not settling for people who come in, use us, destroy our heart and think that's okay. We're not settling for that no more. Affirmation, my path is mine and mine alone. When I follow my path, alignment comes naturally. And again, when you do that internal work and stop seeking that validation and making someone else trying to make you feel whole and complete, because that is codependency and that is attachment style, you are going to always set yourself up for heartbreak and failure because you are relying on that other person to make you feel complete. When you pour that energy into self and you go into relationships, you might start, and it's about trusting your own intuition. So you see the red flags early. Don't be blindsided. What lessons did you learn from this issue that is going on? And also, I've gone on a tangent now. I can't remember what I was going to say. Also, when you do that internal work, you're good either way. So you choose the relationships that you want. But if it doesn't work, yeah, you'll feel a little bit sad. But you'll move on because you've not got the attachment and codependency styles there going on. You're good on your own, but you choose to have someone with you. And remember, if this is a relationship where betrayal has taken part, I'm just going to put this out there, you alone cannot fix and save your relationship. This is to anybody out there. And especially if you didn't cause the betrayal, you'll just want to see the best potential in somebody else, especially if you're an empath. But seeing past that potential, sometimes you have to strip that illusion away. And if you've had heartbreak, you probably have been, the illusion in the mirror's being shattered anyway. Stop seeing the potential in what people can be and trust what your intuition is telling you who they are. Because a healthy relationship, you both need to individually heal your childhood wounds that are familiar, that bring into adult relationships, whether that be consciously or unconsciously. And until two individuals heal themselves, then they can only reunite to a healthy relationship. So don't try to save people who don't want saving. That is a big top tip. If people come to you for your advice, yes, give it. But stop trying to save everybody that don't want to be saved. It's time to focus and pour that energy back into yourself and Be the light. Stop overgiving and stop thinking you are not worthy of what you deserve, because you are worthy. It was your birthright. But in order to get that, you have to heal your own heart. You have to heal your own heart. And once you do that, your intuition will let you guide the way, and you'll be in alignment. And whatever's not meant for you, trust it's clearing the path. The universe is removing them obstacles out of your way for you. Like, nothing is bad about that. They are just moving stuff that will probably cause problems for you later in life. So the universe is moving that to clear the path, to let you go on your path. So trust what's meant for you will stay, what's not will fall away. And healthy relationships, regarding betrayal, no good sweeping it all under the carpet without doing the internal work or going and getting help and therapy, because that will only resurface again in another relationship, different partner, same problem. All I'm saying, it takes both to do own individuation work. Then you can choose to come together as one, as a partnership. And if it don't work out, then you're both good and you go in your own way. That's what healing does when you heal childhood trauma wounds and things that feel familiar, because it's already in the nervous system, and we can even be unconscious of that. We're not aware of that. I hope this reading helps and makes sense. Have a blessed rest of your day. Like I say, quickly, before, when I started this, I could feel the energy. So the stability, the root chakra, really need to work on your root chakra and your sacral chakra, because that is about bringing stability to self. Get stable and grounded in your own energy and stop seeking that externally. And also, this might resonate, but my dog was sick when I started making this video, so that could be a message in here for you. So if it is and it resonates, then take it. But again, don't try to make tarot fit. This is just a guideline of where we're at in the collective energy, what's going on. Use it as a tool. If there's any information in there, great, that you can use as a guidance for yourself, then use it, but don't take it literal. It's just a tool to help us, guide us through our shadow aspects, what we're not seeing clearly, and how to bring stuff to the light to gain clarity and forward movement on that situation. Now, have a blessed rest of your day. Peace, love and light. Donna. Namaste.